Hi everyone, Ian Aldrich from Progressive Legal here today, continuing our talk about intellectual property. We get asked a lot about non-disclosure agreements or confidentiality agreements, and when is a good time to use it? Are they useful? Do they even protect me as a business owner, my business and my idea? The answer is yes. It's a very, if it's done right, a non-disclosure agreement is an excellent form of protection for your intellectual property. One of the main reasons a confidentiality agreement or a non-disclosure agreement is useful is it clearly spells out to the other side that you are serious about protecting this intellectual property. It's a contract between the two of you, making sure that they don't disclose this information any further than what it needs to be, and of course having it, having those types of disclosures and making sure that it's tailored for not only the idea that you're going to be discussing, but also who they can discuss it with, if at all, and what are the mechanisms, etc. after that. If it's just handshake and vague, there's a lot more potential for things to be loose, and loose lips sink ships is a good common phrase. If it's not in writing and it's not agreed to, people think they can kind of get away with it, or they might not be as careful with making sure that the idea that you discuss, or the business that you discuss, or anything that you're wanting to protect in terms of this intellectual property isn't disclosed further than within the four walls. It just means that you're a lot more confident in being able to disclose this information, so you can get the right advice, or you can work on a project together potentially, knowing full well that they can't then later breach the contract. And once it's in writing, there's something about having someone sign a document. They know that they're bound to something, as opposed to something where they might be able to wriggle out of. The importance of having a tailored non-disclosure agreement is really paramount. Most of the template non-disclosure agreements that I see don't cover you for what you're won't cover you for what you're actually doing, and unfortunately most of these templates, we've seen even stuff from the States being provided to some of our clients, and having to advise them about this terrible non-disclosure agreement and whether or not it's worth the paper it's printed on. So making sure that it's tailored for the purpose, and that's clearly defined, the confidential information is very clearly defined, and making sure that the parties are properly described. Anyway, I hope that's given you a bit more information out there, because there is a bit of misinformation out there about non-disclosure agreements and whether or not they can be enforced. If you've got any more information, please feel free to give me a call or PM me in the link below. Thanks a lot.